Are you looking to establish a food forest in your backyard? We've been doing that here in our yard. I want to show you guys some of the updates actually that we did. We kind of cleaned up a few things and we're going to go through that today, trying to hopefully get ready for some fall planting. First of all, hi to all the new gardeners out there. This is Lane Vids. This is where we believe about growing that food forest so that you can have some of the most delicious food for your bodies and for your kids' bodies. So if you're interested in that, you might want to consider clicking that subscribe button. Got my little helper with me today. This is Beckett. I did his birth vlog on another channel. If y'all want to check it out, I'll link it up down below. Do you want to say hi? Say hey everybody. So like I always start off with here on this channel is our composter right here. The Yimby Tumbling Composter right here. I'm gonna link it up down in the description below. It's a great composter at a great price. It's less than $100, dual chamber, and I just turned it, so we got a good mixture going in there. It's looking really good. I'm really liking what's going on. And then on the other side, I'm kind of doing a test with just some grass. This is dead grass clippings from the lawnmower. I bagged them up and I put them in here. I'm kind of curious to see how this actually works. Now, I will say though, one downside to this is if you have like a big bowl or a big bag of things that you're trying to get into here, it's really hard to actually get it in because this opening is not as big. There's another composter called a lifetime composter, and like a third or so, like from all the way back here, the hinges would be back here and the front would be here, and this whole thing opens up. It's not a dual chamber though, so kind of have to have your pros and cons there. But as you can see, some of the grass clippings fell on the ground here, so one downside, but for the price, I mean, you really can't beat that. I'd highly recommend you get this this tumbling composter if that's what you want. Now, another option is the compost pile, which we also have over here. We just kind of throw some of the dead stuff, more grass clippings that don't fit in the tumbler. We have some food and napkins and whatnot that just kind of gets eaten on by bugs, and this land right here is super duper fertile, so very excited. I think eventually I want to turn this into its own garden bed, kind of cut back some of these trees right here, all these tree branches, and see if we can grow something right here, because I think that there's going to be some good stuff right there. So that's looking good. Now, let me show you guys some of the other things that I've done here in the food forest. So we have obviously our trees here that I talk to you guys about in just about every video. This one here, and there's the other tall boy over there. Whenever I was doing our lawn mowing, I decided to, like I said, bag it on. I put some in the compost. Obviously, there wasn't enough. I put some over there. Still had extra left over, and I didn't want to have to keep walking across the yard. So I'd stop at every tree, and I decided to put down the clippings below the tree, and hopefully, because all those grass clippings, they still have nutrients in them because you just chopped it up, so hopefully that can kind of seep down into there, and it creates this nice protective layer for the soil. So if you just have soil right here, which we did because we put down cardboard whenever we first started this. It was cardboard and wood chips, and then that all got eaten up and whatnot and disintegrated, and then now the crabgrass is starting to grow onto there, so I didn't want that to happen, so I pulled that back a little bit, and now I made this mound here of leaves and grass, which hopefully will work out well. Over here, this tree's gotten so big, the orange tree, it's gotten so big that a lot of light doesn't get to the grass right here, so we haven't really had a problem with the grass kind of intruding on the tree, so it's kept its own floor here, although we may put down some kind of leaves or grass, just to protect the soil right here. But we started, again, this one, we started with cardboard and wood chips as well, if y'all remember from, gosh, that was probably like, what, a year and a half or so ago, if y'all want to go back and watch old videos. I don't remember exactly what it was. Again, more grass clippings. We had these boxes here. They were just kind of getting all weeded up and whatnot, long grass and whatnot. So I just figured I'd dump it onto there, see if it can kind of kill anything. Same thing over here. We just threw it on there, just kind of seeing what happens with that. It's almost an experiment more than anything. And then we also have the blueberry bush right over here. This thing's looking really healthy. I'm seeing a lot of new sprouts on it, which is good. And again, I put the grass on the bottom there as well. Now, over here, we cleaned out this entire bed. I don't know if y'all remember from the previous video. This bed was a little overgrown and kind of way like needed some work, and so we literally just took out everything there and hopefully we can do some good fall planting here. I need to get something on top of this soil though. I don't want it to dry out too much, and I want to keep a lot of those nutrients. So if I can put some kind of topping over this, that would be good. I'd like to do wood chips just because they're free, but I have to drive like all the way across town to get that and come back. There's another idea that I heard using a pine straw on top of your as a kind of like a mulch or a wood chip. I think we might try that this year on that little patch right there and kind of see how it works out. The most food forest area that we have in the yard right now, I'd have to say, is this area right here. And I really like this area because one, this used to be, I don't know if y'all remember, a long time ago, weeds would just, those weeds right there, y'all see those right there? Those long weeds right there, they would grow like non-stop all over the place in this area, and I hated it. It was so frustrating. So we decided to plant some plants that would kind of take over the weeds so that the weeds couldn't grow, and this seems to be working great. We have the roselle right here, which is doing just fine, really growing out. This, if y'all don't know what roselle is, these little buds right here, they open up every morning and they're flowers, but you can actually eat the red part right here, and it's super delicious. If you're in a hot climate, I highly recommend it. These things love to be cooked by the sun, so and you just get so much with it. You can see all those little red buds, and then you can also make a tea from roselle too as well. Right here, this is our holy basil right there. Looks like it's doing just great. Or no, is that lemon balm or holy? I can never remember. This right here though, that's got to be lemon balm, because this is basil right here, and this all flowered out and whatnot. But again, it took over the entire spot, so the weeds can't pop up, and it's just kind of creeping along. Got some more basil right here, which is also looking great. This is our comfrey plant. We cut it down every year. This thing's going to grow back to another mound right here. Yeah, you have something you want to say? Yeah, we need something to grow right here. We need to find something that's going to kind of cover the ground right here. We had a bunch of alligator weed stuff that was growing right there, and so we need to figure out what we got. But it looks like we got a nice forest floor there, very leafy and earthy right there. The banana tree is doing awesome. Got this big leaf that grew out this week, looking beautiful. And then we got another one coming up through right there. Very excited about that. That is probably, I'm most excited about that plant right there. I'm curious to see what happens with it. It's going to be super cool. I can't wait to eat some bananas off that thing. But as you can see, these leaves are huge, so they're creating tons of shade. And so the plants can't grow, weeds can't grow underneath them. And that's kind of the mindset that we're going with here. Actually, I need to grab my companion planting book that I think I've linked up down in the description below. It's a book about like what plants go well together, they grow well together. I need to see what grows well with a banana tree, because I didn't really look into that. I just kind of planted it right there and it did great. Like, I planted that this year on right around Father's Day, and man, I'm very impressed by it. Yeah, you have something you want to say? If you guys want to check out all the things that we've used to make our food forest happen, I'm going to link it all up down in the description below. Oh look, this is the milkweed too. I wanted to show you all this. If y'all remember, we bought this as like a little potted plant, a little nothing plant, and it's definitely taken root and developed here. What's great about milkweed is that it is a butterfly attractor. You'll see tons of caterpillars on there eventually, and then you'll have an abundance of butterflies into your yard. So if you're looking to have insects in your yard, I can definitely recommend that, especially butterflies. There's also, we let the basil go to flower so that it would attract bees, because the bees are great pollinators, especially for things that need cross-pollination like blueberry bushes and whatnot. So highly recommend that. The trellis that everything's growing up on, which we have back here as well with all the cucumbers, I'll link that up down in the description below. It's literally wire fencing that we stapled to the back of our wooden fence. Don't have to get complicated with this kind of stuff, guys. You just got to think about what works best for you, for your food forest, and just let it grow. We definitely need to get back here and clean out this area, but a couple of things I want to highlight. One, our pepper plant. I don't know what happened to it. An animal got to it, or lawnmower. So I honestly don't know. But it's fallen over. The roots are exposed, but we're still getting peppers. You can't get away from the peppers over here, apparently. And then we also have our asparagus right here, which is getting super tall. Very excited about this to see what happens. From what I understand, asparagus can grow like down 15 feet into the earth. From what I understand, I need to read up more about it, but what that's good for is that it helps draw up some of the nutrients that are way down into the earth and bring it to the surface for all the other plants here. Not too much going on. Like I said, we really need to clean up that area right there. We're kind of focused on the other one earlier. But we do have plenty of cucumber plants right here. I'm assuming whenever these cucumber plants are done, we'll probably start ripping stuff out over here and kind of get this area ready for the fall and whatnot. But we've still been getting cucumbers. Still got plenty of leaves. I know it's looking kind of tattered, but they're still down in there. We're still getting, look, peppers. Anybody need a pepper? We got plenty of peppers. But we're still getting plenty of cucumbers off of here. My wife comes and picks them almost every day, I'd say. And I mean, it's just back in front all the way around. Y'all can see all of the flowers that are on there. All those yellow flowers are going to turn to cucumbers. Look, you got one right there, looking beautiful. Got another pepper right there, looking beautiful. Apparently cucumbers and peppers grow together. I should look up that in my companion planning book. There's another cucumber right there. Just doing well. It's doing so well on this area. I'm very, very pleased with it. Now in the front yard, let me show you guys a few plants that we have up there so that you guys can get an idea of what we have going on over here. The blueberry bush right here that we remember, I don't know if y'all remember, we uprooted those azalea bushes and we put in blueberry bushes instead because we wanted something that's going to produce something for us. But again, I use my grass clippings around here. One, so that whenever I'm mowing the lawn, I have a border, and so I don't... Yes, sir. I have a border, and so I don't damage the plant. But two, again, those nutrients that can go into there, and it helps also to keep the grass out as well. The apple tree, we're getting so much leaf action here. I wish this thing would just, it's a time thing, you know, you got to let these things, you have to be patient with them. I know that it's a tree, it's got to take time to grow and whatnot, but it is looking good. Got tons of leaf, very excited about this. Again, grass clippings on the bottom. And then we did the same thing over here with the other blueberry bush that took place of that azalea bush right there. So we're also growing laser tag guns apparently. These are hummingbird feeders that my daughter made. We actually have seen some hummingbirds, so if you want to attract hummingbirds, it's literally a paper cup with a string attached to it with some buttons on the side to hold it, and that's a sugar water that's in there. So it worked really well. I've seen like 3 to 5 hummingbirds almost daily over here. Does great, does great. Like I said, if you guys want to check out some of the stuff that we've used for our food forest, this is that fencing that I was talking about right here. This stuff right here, staple it to it, great trellis to grow on. But I have that all linked up down in the description below. You guys can go and read some of the reviews about all that stuff, see if it's something that's right for you for your food forest. And I'd be curious to know down in the comments below if it's working out for you and what other things that you might have used in your food forest. If you're liking what we're doing, he has something he wants to say. What else you want to say? Yeah? Say subscribe if you're liking what we're doing here. And if you believe in growing your own food and having your own food forest, that's what we're all about here. So click that subscribe button. Thank y'all for watching. Keep composting and growing stuff. And bye-bye.